Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for this video because I'm going to talk about my December TBR. It's kind of a loose TBR, but it's the 10 before the end. I've seen that kind of going around. Actually, no, I've just seen it one time on Instagram and I was like, that's such a cool idea, 10 before the end of the year. That's super ambitious for me, but I think it'd be cool, and also I just really like that it rhymes. So we're going to be talking about the 10 books that I probably won't be reading by the end of the year, but that I would like to, that like I will plan to stick to before the end of the year. And knowing me, I'm such a mood reader that this might change. You know, I might just decide to screw it all and just pick up something random that I didn't plan on, but you know, this is the plan. We're gonna try and stick to it, and I'm really excited for all these books. I've got a couple like wintry, Christmassy books, like not really Christmassy, but more like wintertime books, and the rest of it is mainly fantasy, which I'm excited about because winter is such like a fantasy reading time to me because I can just curl up in bed with a book and like blankets, hot chocolate, and my cats, and that's just like the absolute perfect scenario. But like even to add to that, have it snowing outside, perfect. You can't tell me that is not like the best reading setup ever. So, as the title says, I've got 10 books on this list, and yeah, I'm really excited to talk about them, and definitely let me know your thoughts if you've read any of these. Curious to hear what other people think and what I will think, and yeah, let's just get into it. So the first book that I would like to finish before the end of the year, and that I will finish before the end of the year, is one I'm currently reading, and that is House of Earth and Blood, Crescent City 1 by Sarah J Maas. And I need to update my bookmark actually, because I've read quite a bit more in this. Okay, so I'm on chapter 71, which is page 636, so I only have that little chunk left, and I've not been reading this physically. I've actually been reading it on my iPad just because it's easier to transport, and if I'm in bed, like I've been reading the majority of this book in bed, and I don't want to have to navigate a way to hold it, you know, while I'm comfortable. So reading on my iPad was just the easiest way to go. So I've just been binge reading this. I think it's something about reading on a screen that just makes me go faster. Like I don't have to turn the pages, like my brain just takes it in really quickly. But yeah, I've been loving this so far. I've been eating it up. It's absolutely so amazing. I don't think it's as good as Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, in my opinion, but we'll have to see how the end goes. We just had some plot twists, which was really crazy and honestly unexpected. Like that came out of nowhere. But I'm really interested to see how it's going to wrap up because you know the last 100 pages or so of a Sarah J Maas book are going to be absolutely wild. So I'm nervous. I'm kind of bracing myself a little bit. But this has definitely been helping me get through the final season, the last couple weeks of school, because it currently is the last week of school, and oh, I'm struggling through it a bit, but that's okay. This has definitely been keeping me going and been giving me some nice breaks. I've been reading this like at the gym after I lift weights, and then I'll walk on the treadmill and read this on my iPad, and it's been, oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. I need to keep doing that because it's just so nice to combine like what I love, like training and like exercising and reading at the same time. Oh, it's perfect. But yeah, I will definitely be finishing this one. There's no doubt about that because I'm 80% through. So yeah. And the next one is actually a romance book to break up the fantasy that I'm going to be reading, which is very much needed because I think you always need like some fast-paced, just silly little goofy romance book to just be like a palate cleanser. Like I feel like most people who primarily read non-romance books will pick a romance book as their palate cleanser, which is really fun just because there's nothing to them. They're just fun, you know what I mean? And this is one I've had my eye on for a very long time because I love Tangled. I love Rapunzel so much, and when I saw this was coming out earlier this year, I was like, I need to read that instantly, but I was also hesitant because I did not want to like buy it because I wasn't really sure. So I got it from the library and I was just, I don't know. I wanted to give it a shot, so hopefully I love it because I will definitely be getting a copy if I love it. Like I love Rapunzel and I love Tangled, so of course I want to have this beautiful book. You know what I mean? Like I love how her hair and everything and like the colors, it's so cute. But yeah, this is Tangled Up in You by Kristen and Lauren, and this is kind of like a reimagining of Tangled. So the main character, Wren, who is representative of Rapunzel, has like been very sheltered her whole life. Like she's never held a phone, she's never like used Google. Like she's very just like sheltered and kind of kept apart from the world on this homestead. But she gets accepted into this college, and it's called Corona College, which is really cute because that's the kingdom name in Tangled, which is just, oh, it's so cute. So yeah, she starts college, so that's her first like entrance into this world. But then the love interest is named Fitz, just like Eugene Fitzherbert, like Flynn Rider in the movie. And he's got, you know, a very, you know, plotted out future for himself. Like he had a criminal record, but he got that wiped. And so they come together, but they have like an assignment together. And yeah, I just think college reimagining of Tangled is such a creative idea. And like honestly, I wish I wrote this. Like I wish I wrote this because me and my friend have had the idea to like write a dark Tangled retelling or something like that, which is, it's not a college retelling, but you know, we're along those lines. So I really think I'm gonna love this just because I love Tangled so much. If not like the actual story, just the connection to it will probably carry it for me. So I have some high hopes for this, so let me know if you've read this and if you think I'll like it, because I know this is in like the series of kind of Disney movie reimaginings. Like they have one for Cinderella and for Beauty and the Beast and for Little Mermaid. So you know, if I like this, I might try those other ones, but I just love Tangled so much that like this is the one I wanted to pick up. So I'm very excited to get to this, and I feel like it'd be fun to like read this with the movie playing in the background. I don't know. And then the next one on this list is one that I actually had no idea existed until recently because I got a new job and my coworker and I were talking about books, and I read a lot obviously, so I was talking about some of the ones I like, and then he was talking about this book series which like I know about, but I didn't realize it was a book series. Like I knew about the movie, but not the books. So this is The Book of Three by Lloyd Alexander, which is the first book in the Chronicles of Prydain, which is connected to the movie, the Disney movie, The Black Cauldron. But the second book in the series is called The Black Cauldron. So it's just really like confusing. I was just very lost when he was explaining it. But he gave me a basic premise, which is that it follows Taryn, the assistant pig keeper, and as soon as you say pig, I'm like, I'm in. If there's animals, if there's cute animals and like a high fantasy story, I'm in. So I'm really excited. I don't know that much about it besides that plot, but I think it's kind of reminiscent of Narnia. Not really, but like that's what it reminds me of in a way. It's just kind of like that childhood friendly, just fun fantasy world and story. And also this map is super cute. Like that's really cool. I won't say no to a cool map. But yeah, I just kind of forgot that this like series existed, and just like this was, I didn't even know this was a book series. So of course I'm just curious to try it. So I hope I like it. It's kind of short actually. And yeah, I just think it'll be fun. I just think it'll be fun to sit by the fire maybe if I decide to turn the fireplace on and just cozy up with the book. So this is kind of just a shot in the dark for me, but it's shorter and I just thought I could read it quickly. I would love, ideally, to break up some of the bigger, denser fantasy books on this list with a reread. And, you know, I could reread ACOTAR, but like those books are really long, like the actual ones of the series. So I thought, why not just read A Court of Frost and Starlight? Like it's the perfect winter book. It's the Yule, like winter solstice, Christmas special for ACOTAR, and like I know a lot of people don't like this, but I actually really enjoy it. Like I don't really think it's that important. Like it could have just been like some bonus chapters at the end of A Court of Wings of Ruin or something. But I just love also the setup it gives to A Court of Silver Flames, and it's so short, so I would just love to quickly reread it just because it's just the comfort characters and the winter setting and like how they're all giving each other Christmas gifts. And yeah, you know, it's not perfect, but it's just a silly fun time, and it's just gonna give me what I want when I want to read this. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna give me all the vibes I want. So it'll be nice to have a little bit of time back with these characters that I love so much, especially after finishing Crescent City. I'm gonna want to come back to like home a little bit. So yeah, I'm excited to read this, and normally I don't reread books that much, but I was like, what better time to do it than around Christmas time? So I'm really excited for this one. And then I'm gonna break up the rest of the physical books that I own with some of the ones that I don't own that I want to read. So the first one is an arc that I actually received on NetGalley, which was really exciting because normally I don't request too many arcs because I'm really bad at reading them, but I've been interested in this one for a while, ever since I heard about it. I don't know that much about it, but just the premise sounds so interesting, so I'll read that to you. The title is My Name is Amelia Del Valle. I'm probably butchering that, but it's by Isabel Allende, and it just sounds so cool. So let me read you the premise. So this is translated from Spanish, and the summary on Goodreads says, a young writer journeys to South America to uncover the truth about her father and herself. In San Francisco, 1866, an Irish nun left pregnant and abandoned following a torrid relationship with a Chilean aristocrat gives birth to a daughter named Amelia de Valle. Raised by a loving stepfather, Amelia grows into an independent thinker and a self-sufficient young woman. To pursue her passion for writing, she was willing to defy societal norms. At the age of 16, she begins to publish pulp fiction under a man's pen name. When these fictional worlds can't contain her sense of adventure any longer, she turns to journalism, convincing an editor at the San Francisco Examiner to hire her. There she is paired with another talented reporter, Eric Whalen. As she proves herself, her restlessness returns until an opportunity arises to cover a brewing civil war in Chile. She seizes it, along with Eric, and while there, begins to uncover the truth about her father and the country that represents her roots. But as the war escalates, Amelia finds herself in danger and at a crossroads, questioning both her identity and her destiny. Which, sounds so cool, just the fact that she's, writing is such a big part of her while she's on this search to find her father and just kind of understand herself and her history. It just sounded really, really fascinating to me, and I feel like it'd be a very emotional but also heartwarming story. At least I hope so. And I don't really normally read historical fiction, so I thought it would be easier for me to follow a historical story of a young woman, similar to me in a way, to kind of get that historical sense but also relate to it. At least I assume I might relate to it because she's a writer and I'm also a writer. But yeah, I'm gonna be reading this on my Kindle. Or, not my Kindle, this is my iPad. And then the next ebook I'm gonna read is called Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar. Kuzniar, I think that's how you say it. But this is a Nutcracker retelling, and it sounds really interesting, and of course the cover is beautiful, but it follows this main character who is kind of living in a higher society, and she gets this new neighbor, Dr. Drosselmeyer, who, is in the Nutcracker, so everyone's familiar with him. But he gives the family gifts and everything, and she wakes up and she's in this fantasy land, and it's kind of it reminds me of Narnia in a way, with all the snow and everything. I just love Narnia, if you can't tell. But she kind of awakens in this new fantasy whimsical world, and she has no idea what's going on, but she gets kidnapped and held hostage by this evil king, I think. But she meets up with these two other girls who are stuck there as well, and they have to team up and, get rid of the king and get out of there. That's a really bad explanation, I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to read a Nutcracker retelling because I absolutely love the Nutcracker so much. It's one of my absolute favorite soundtracks, and just classical pieces in general. I just love the ballet so much. It's one of my favorite things. I always wanted to read a Nutcracker retelling, and I just never really knew which one to pick up because I wanted it to be good. I guess my expectations are too high, but I just want it to be magical. I just want it to be great. And so out of all the summaries I've read of all the different Nutcracker retellings I've found, this one seemed the most interesting to me. So I'm excited to give it a try. I'll definitely let you know what I think. And I'm planning to read this closer to Christmas time, maybe the week before Christmas, hopefully, because I am going on a cruise over New Year's, so I'm trying to get all the Christmassy books, wintry books, out of the way before then because I'll be in the tropics. So I don't want to have any Christmas stuff throwing me off. I don't know, it might not be too bad, but I kind of want to build myself up to Christmas with my winter books. Okay, and then the next book I'm hoping to read is called The Ice Swan by Janelle Ciselski. That was so bad. I'm so sorry. I really tried. Ciselski. We're gonna go with that. But this is about a princess named Svetlana Dalsky who is fleeing the Russian Revolution. So her family is fleeing from the Bolsheviks who are trying to, attack the, what are they called? Aristocracy, trying to attack the aristocracy. So she's fleeing, and they have to go into hiding in Paris, which is also a really interesting concept because it just reminds me of Anastasia, and I love that movie too. So we're just trying to find books that make me feel like how I felt when I watched Tangled, or when I watched The Nutcracker, or when I watched Anastasia. So yeah, maybe I'll have to do a whole recommendations video or something. Anyways, she comes into contact with the second son of a Scottish duke named Wyn Macallan, who is a surgeon. and that's all I know. That's all I want to know, but I'm just really interested by that because it just seems like a wintry book. It involves Russia and Paris and a princess, and it just sounds really interesting. So I'm planning to listen to this one on audiobook, but if I don't like the narrator, I might also just read it physically. I don't really know. I just wanted an audiobook to listen to while I'm crocheting, while I'm doing my puzzle, like while I'm doing some things. I don't just want to be physically reading the whole time. Like I have other stuff I want to do. Like I really need to crochet people's Christmas gifts, so that will give me the opportunity to listen to that while I'm crocheting. And you know, I might pick up another audiobook of one of these, but I wasn't really planning on it just because I want to physically read most of these. So we might have to see, but hopefully this audiobook is good, and I'm just really intrigued by this concept. And of course the cover is really pretty too. Then we have got to the last 3 books on this 10 before the end list, and these are physical books on my physical TBR, and I've said I've wanted to read these for quite a bit and I still haven't got to them. So these are not like top priority books. Like these are not the books that I'm like intimidated by that I haven't gotten to yet. Like in my reading journal I had made a list of like, oh, 10 books I want to read in 2024. I think I've read like 2 of them, so I'm not doing too well, but I'm not really planning to read any of those. I'm kind of just accepting that I failed at that because I'm like, I don't want to force myself to do it if I am not feeling in the mood for it. And also I don't want that to be the only book I read. Like I would like to read multiple books, or as many as I can, while I'm on winter break, while I'm not in school or anything. So I'm just kind of going with what I'm in the mood for and what I've been thinking about for quite a bit and haven't gotten to. So I'm not going to hold myself to any like things I've previously placed on myself. I know that's definitely just me making excuses, but like, I don't know. I just, there will come a time when I read the books I've been meaning to read. It's just not now. So we're just gonna go with what I'm really excited for. And that is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Lang. And this is, well, I guess it's not a new release anymore because this came out in October and it's December, which is actually crazy that it's December. Like, that's insane. But this is a historical kind of like fantasy-ish novel, kind of like militaristic. So it involves a character named Jishi, who is very beautiful, but she draws the attention of a famous young military advisor named Fan Li, and he gives her a rare opportunity to use her beauty as a weapon. So she kind of becomes like a spy and like tries to seduce people for the military. But I know there's also a love story in here, which sounds so good. Like military and love story and fantasy and history sounds just like everything I want. And of course, this cover is beautiful. Just this whole book is just like absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. I love this deluxe edition. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this for such a long time, ever since I've ordered it, and I just haven't got the chance to yet because I had set TBRs and then I just never ended up reading it on time. So I'd really like to read it this month, and this might be one that I bring on my cruise with me just because I feel like it'll be fun and kind of just like dramatic, and I feel like it fits a like cruise setting more. I don't really know. I just really want to read this because I love this author so much and I'm really excited to read her newest book. And the next 2 are some of like the YA classics. Like I feel like most everybody has read these except me. I'm really excited to start these series because I've just been itching to for so long, and you've seen this, if you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen me talk about this in particular for such a long time, but I still haven't read it. I just haven't gotten to it. But that's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I feel like everyone knows what this is about. It's about the carnival and the 2 sisters, Scarlett and Tella. And yeah, I'm just really excited to try this because I want to get to the Once Upon a Heart no, I want to get to the Once Upon a Broken Heart series so bad, but I refuse to read it until I know what happens in Caraval. Like, I just can't do that to myself. That leads me into Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, because that's also what I'm doing for this series. I wanted to read the first 3 Mortal Instruments books before I got into the Infernal Devices series. So, you know, I'm finally at this one. I'm so excited to get to this one because this is everyone's favorite Shadowhunter series. I feel like that's what I see for the most part, so I'm so excited to get to this, especially because this is like Victorian England and that just sounds absolutely perfect. And also I'm excited to get to this because it's a carnival and it just feels so much like a fairy tale to me, so I feel like I'll absolutely love this and absolutely love this. I'm just really pumped for both of these, and these might be ones I bring on my cruise too. I'm not really too sure. We'll just have to see what I decide to pick up after Crescent City. I'm not really sure what I will go with because I have so many options, and truly I don't think I'm gonna get to all 10. I'm just gonna say that right now. I probably won't. Honestly, I might not even make it to 5, but like I just like that 10 before the end rhymes, and also I wanted to try and be, you know, ambitious with my time and not just spend my entire winter break scrolling on my phone, because that's what I've been doing, and it's honestly bothering me a lot because I have all these books that I want to read and that I'm so excited for, yet I choose to spend all my time on this, and like most of the time I don't even realize I'm doing it. Like I'm just mindlessly scrolling. So I'm really trying to do better and not be on this the whole time and actually read instead. So I'm really looking forward to all my reading I'm gonna do this winter in December. I'm so excited. But one note before I go, if you're wondering if you've seen any of my videos from this year, you know I have started Dune in April. I started Dune in April and I still haven't finished it, and I've said I'm going to. But this is another thing that I'm just going to accept, that I will finish it when I finish it because I love it so much, but I also don't want to force myself to do it because it's that type of book that like if I'm not having fun reading it, it's gonna ruin the whole experience. So I don't want to do that. I'm gonna finish this when I get to it. I don't even care if it's a whole year after I started it. But yeah, this is its own thing. This is not on the 10 before the end list, but I just wanted to make that note in case anyone was curious that like I will get to Dune when Dune is ready for me. We'll just put it that way. As always, here's the stack minus the 3 that I don't physically own. But yeah, I'm really excited for this month's reading. Obviously, I will update you, and thankfully I will have some more time to hopefully do some reading vlogs and hopefully some different types of reading vlogs. Like I really want to try and do a 24-hour readathon if I can help it, and also maybe like a reading for like number generator picks how many hours I read or like pages I read or just something like that. Like I just think it would be really fun. So we'll have to see. But hopefully I can stick to this as well. Honestly, I won't be mad if I just read any books at all. Like that will be fantastic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.